Jerod Mayo, following the Patriots getting their asses handed to them in London by the Jacksonville Jaguars over the weekend. He called his team soft, most notably their inability to stop the run on Sunday and all season long. And so Bill Belichick, the former head coach of the Patriots, was on the Let's Go podcast, and he was asked about, what are your thoughts on Jerod calling out the team?
I think when you criticize your team publicly like that, it doesn't always go over well. Not every coach has their own style, and maybe sometimes that can be effective and all. But ultimately, I always felt like when the team played bad, that was my responsibility too. I mean, we might have had bad playing, but we had bad coaching that led to bad playing. So I think it's always best to kind of take a look at yourself and do what you can do to help the team, and then. If you have constructive criticism as a coach, that's your job. But I don't know. Last year the Patriots led the league in rushing defense yards per carry, number 1 in the league. This year they're 26th or whatever it is. It's the same players. I don't think that those players on defense are soft, but they haven't stopped the run very well this year.
Bang,
bang. Wasn't he the coach last year?
You better believe it.
Shade. Catch a little. Hey, let me toss this one up to you. Here we go. Tossed up.
Pop, 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 pop.
Shade grenade. Damn.
Like a little mortar bomb from Nantucket.
That defense was nice last year.
So I was under the impression that Belichick's beef was with Kraft, not so much with Jerod Mayo. It feels like there's something there, though, right?
Look, so one of the things that I remember reading was that Belichick kind of felt like, I don't know if betrayed is the right word, probably a little bit too far of a word for this, but that he felt like maybe Jerod was kind of going behind his back or angling behind his back as the replacement for him, and he felt uncomfortable and unhappy about that while in real time he was there. And his replacement was already working behind the scenes and being anointed the guy.
Y'all bringing that up. Let me throw this out at you. Like, this one just is percolating right now. Was that Jerod Mayo throwing shade at Bill Belichick? Like, this team stinks this year. Is that Jerod Mayo giving himself more runway? Like, these dudes are soft. Those are Bill Belichick's players. I need Jerod Mayo players. Do you feel like maybe that's the way Bill Belichick maybe it took that? Because that was it was almost like in defense of his players. Like, now he's speaking in generalities when he says a coach should take the responsibility, a coach this, that, and the other. But the way he finished it off made that thing real personal. I wonder, was that a response to Jerod Mayo, not an opinion or an observation? Was that a response to a shot at him?
I don't know.
Well, if you want to call my guy soft, I heard those same guys that you have that were my guys, they were pretty damn good against the run. Now they can't stop a nosebleed this year. So that's you. I started it off with giving the reasoning that it's the coach that should take the blame. Then I said that the players that you're using right now were good last year. And that, you know what I mean? Like, so that sounds like you're saying it's poor coaching, is what you're saying if you're Bill Belichick.
Maybe. I do think at the end of the day, clearly whatever anybody thinks, hey, listen, Belichick and Kraft, they had the moment at the roast, everything, it's not.
It's not over.
No.
It's not over.
No.
There's still hard feelings.
Yeah, I don't think he felt right about what
So you think that's a shot at Kraft then? Because this was who he picked to replace him, without the consultation of Bill Belichick?
This is layers. That could be it, too. Yeah, that could be it, too. It could be him taking a shot at Robert Kraft.
Do I remember, was in Jerod Mayo's contract to take over for Belichick when he was done? Wasn't there something like that came out?
Yeah, it came out ahead of time that he was the heir apparent. He was going to be the guy. That Robert Kraft had identified that.
Do you think that had Bill Belichick's blessing?
Probably not, because Belichick didn't want to leave. Like Albert Breer said it a couple of times, like, no, like in so many words, like Belichick was fired. Like he didn't want to leave. Like Robert Kraft made the decision, and he's spoken about it. He was on the Breakfast Club recently and talked about how, I had to make the decision to part ways with Bill Belichick. I gave him too much power, et cetera, et cetera. So Robert Kraft's still talking about it. Like he's still taking shots.
So he's taking a shot at at Robert Kraft. Because look at it like this. You took the power back from Bill Belichick. But this team hasn't been good for some time now. So when did you take that power back? Was Bill Belichick still the coach? When you took that power back, what took place where – because if you guys remember, the criticisms that started being lobbed out was Bill Belichick doesn't know how to draft. He doesn't know how to draft. He's not landing on his draft pick. What, his receivers or something to that effect? It was something like whatever it is, the players specific players he was drafting, they weren't panning out. So he was starting to get taken scrutiny and being put out there that way for a time. So I just wonder, like, when did this shift take place where Bill Belichick was the problem in terms of what his amount of power was? Because if it's Robert Kraft who is now and his team making all the decisions, this team has not been good.
I just love the idea of Belichick on a podcast sitting in Nantucket and goes, here's a little shade grenade for you.
Oh, he threw that bad boy.
Here you go. Hold on to this.
Maybe that thing was detonated for both of them. And maybe there was other people that was supposed to get hit back too. But Robert Kraft and Jerod Mayo are definitely two recipients of that grenade. That's a shade grenade, easily.
So funny.
Shade grenade.
Man, Belichick in the media has turned out to be outstanding.
So here's my question. Has the grenade blown up yet? Or is it like, because the way you're throwing it, it's like he pulled the pin, he threw it. But it's like that all we're going to see from them? Or if this is a 1-in-16 team, is there more shade coming?
Oh, there's more shade coming. It's because they're an easy target. It's an easy target. Right? If I'm Bill Belichick, I could do no look passes with that shade grenade. I could do Kareem skyhooks with that shade grenade.
Red 80.
I could go in between the legs and try to score it from there. Like, I can throw that shade grenade any type of way I want to. I could use it with a pool stick, you name it. It's going to still hit.
I guess what I'm asking is it because he took the blame for the firing and because he then had this reputation of, well, without Tom Brady, he can't win, right? There's an element of that. Now, people forget they went to the playoffs in Mac Jones' rookie year. But I look at it and go, and this is the truth. Robert Kraft is cheap, and he doesn't spend money. And I would imagine that once Brady left, Bill told him he needed to spend more money, but Bill had to work within the budget that Kraft gave him. And I would imagine there's some frustration on the part of Bill Belichick there, as compared to owners like Stan Kroenke, owners like some of the others who will doll out the cash to make their team competitive. I mean, hell, we'll get to the Rams. What they're doing right now is trying to flip this roster to try to rebuild and make a run. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. But that's not what the Patriots are trying to do. They just plugged in another Belichick, player, kind of disciple. Say, no. He just needed a new spin on Belichick's thing.
But that would be why you would say he has too much control. It's because he wants to spend outside of your budget. Right? Wouldn't that be the logical way of saying, listen, like, I had to take the control back? He's spending too much money, or he wants to spend too much money. Makes logical sense, but your Harlem Globetrotter dip was funny as hell. I could see the internet right now coming up with Bill Belichick with a Harlem Globetrotter, the outfit all with a shade grenade, dribbling that joint, doing all the stuff Harlem Globetrotters do with the ball. That was really good.